Hi, my loves. And if you're someone who tries so hard and you just don't get the results that you want from whatever it is in your life, stay here because I'm going to help you out. All right. Now, this might resonate with a lot of my fixed signs. So, in astrology, this can be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius placements. Okay. You might have some planets there, or maybe this is your sign. Okay. Or maybe you don't, and you just really resonate with this because you're from an immigrant family, or like you're first generation, or you have a lot of mouths to feed, or you're like the first kid. And so you have a lot of pressure on you. You have to succeed. There is no option for you not to. Now, because of this conditioning, we can put a lot of stress on ourselves to accomplish a certain thing. And maybe there's some part of your life where you're like, I'm amazing and proficient at this like level. Like, why can't I get this other part of my life, right? Like, I'm incredible with money and it just comes to me. But why is it so hard for me to like find love? Or I'm really, really strong in like my physical health, but my emotions are all over the place. Like, what's going on? This can be because you're just caring too much about the thing that is imbalanced. You need to care less. You need to give less of a fuck. I know. And to us who just care so much for all the reasons that I've mentioned, and then maybe even because like we're fixed signs, or maybe we're just like really caring people, maybe you also have a lot of Cancer in you. It's a lot. So as we enter into Scorpio season, as Mars is in Scorpio, as your Scorpio moon sis, let me help you out. Okay. There is a law, a universal law, called the law of least resistance, but also the law of reverse effect. I don't know why my hands are shaking. I just got bit by a mosquito. Great. So the law of reverse effect is basically stop trying so hard. Work hard. Stop trying hard. Now what this means is basically when we try to prove ourselves, when we try to prove our value, when we try to flex, it will just emit this energy of desperation. I don't like how that just moved. But when we work hard and when we embody our intentions through our discipline, through our actions, through our mindsets, through our vibration, we naturally align with the thing that we desire. We achieve whatever it is that we desire because it is a known fact that it is ours. So we don't have to try so hard. We don't have to prove ourselves. I don't need to show you how much money I have. I don't need to show you like what type of person I am. I don't need to prove anything to you. Why? Because the law of least resistance, but also the law of reverse effect. The more that I try, the more I push you away. As a Scorpio, this makes no sense to me because I have really strong concentration. And when I devote all my concentration to something, this is when I feel like it's going to get achieved. And it actually doesn't. As a creator, as an artist, as a lover, as a sister, as a daughter, when I put all my intention on something, it grows temporarily. And then because I put so much attention on it, it puts a lot of pressure and then it dies. Scorpions are actually known when they're in this place of they think that they're going to die. They'll sting themselves and they'll kill themselves. I know, it's so dramatic. But think of that towards your goals. Like if you're putting so much attention on a certain project, if you're a creator, this is when we get into our creative blocks, right? Where this project just needs to manifest so hard. And we're just trying so hard. Take a break, babes. Go outside, get some fresh air. Go work on another project. Go and do something that is totally not creative. Do something really like maybe, I was gonna say housework. Do housework. Go clean your room, whatever it is. Allow yourself to get into this other flow state because then the idea comes, the inspiration, the click, click, click. We start to surrender. And that's part of the law of least effort and the law of just not burning yourself out is you surrender. You surrender your ego and you surrender your will to something that is also working with you, which is the universal energies of your creator, your higher power. And also when we release control, we allow a different flow to come in and to move things around and to align it into perfection because our beautiful minds and our experiences are limited to a certain capacity. We only can achieve to a certain level, and then we do have to give up control, creative control to the mystery. And as a Scorpio moon, Surrender to the mystery, I feel like, is a lifelong journey, right? Surrender to the unknown. Surrender to love, which is the biggest unknown. Surrender to our creative process. Surrender to our business. Surrender to our body and it changing, right? Surrendering to the mystery means that we surrender sometimes our safety, right? Because we're like, we have to control, we have to think of everything and all the results. But we get so caught up in the future that we forget to be present. Or we try to control because of the past experiences that have happened to us. So we're like, I can predict everything because of the past, like how people have treated me, so this is how people are going to treat me moving forward. Trust the mystery, babes. Trust that there is an energy that is so divine and loving and benevolent and generous and will provide everything that you desire. Trust in that energy, but also trust within yourself. So this certain type of relationship in dance is about deciphering between working hard and trying hard. So trying hard is proving your value, your worth, flexing like your accomplishments. I did this, I did that, I did this to prove that you are an expert in your field. No one really wants to know about that, to be honest. It's a turn off. As a girl from LA, I cannot stand it when people are like, I know so and so, or like, I've been on this set, or I was like, worked on this project, or I did this. I'm just like, that's cool. Literally, you just drop from my eyes. That's what my Bob always tells me. When people like lose respect, we drop from my eyes. So now I'm not seeing you eye to eye. I see everybody eye to eye the first time we meet, and then you drop from the eyes. You can work your way up eventually, but when you flex, there is this desire to be accepted and externally validated, where when you're working hard, you don't have any time nor effort, no mental space to try to prove yourself to anybody. When you're working hard and you're working hard on yourself and you're doing it for yourself, when you're in a public space, it's more like you're listening more, or you're receiving more, or you are really trying to understand other people more. And if your accomplishments come up, great, they come up. If that connection, you know that same person, great, it comes up. But we're not trying to flex. We're not trying to try so hard. We're not trying to charm. Instead, we're disarming through connection, through allowance, through receptivity. And that's a power move. That's such a power move. Now, another big difference between trying hard and working hard is the awareness about the subconscious and the conscious mind. So your conscious mind is your free will. Your conscious mind chooses a goal. This is what I want to do in a year. This is who I want to date. This is who I want to marry. This is what I want to look like. Great. Everyone, make your choices. I believe you're all going to get it. Make that choice with your conscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind is the patterning. It's your behaviors. It's your discipline. It's your belief systems. So all of that is what is going to make this like decision of your conscious mind happen, right? So that's why when we're working on ourselves, we're working on our subconscious programming. We're working on our rituals and our disciplines. We're working on how we speak to ourselves. We are organizing our mind. We are releasing attachment from our trauma. We are calling back our power from past experiences. That's the work. The work is also being so aware of the present moment and preparation for also your desires, right? So like, let's say you're an athlete. You throw everything into practice, right? Practice is not where you like take your foot off the gas. It's actually where you go hard and you learn how to get into the zone. You learn how to push yourself to certain levels. You allow yourself to like experience different plays and see what works and what doesn't. You allow yourself to be in this creative flow between effort and surrender. There is this like playful energy, right? And so when you give your all at practice and you develop that subconscious trust within yourself, when you go into a game, you still keep that practice mentality. It doesn't shift because you're trying to get the approval or the acceptance of your family or your fans or whatever it is. You trust your body, you trust your mind, you trust your work ethic, you trust all your belief systems and your training and your patterns to get you through the game and to allow you to do your best in that moment. You don't worry about the next like point that you're going to make. You don't worry about the next play. You give everything in that moment so that way you could be successful in that moment, right? And so when we allow ourselves to have that energy, We also give permission for ourselves to respond to the environment, to respond to people around us, to respond to the opponents, our team players, and to connect versus to disconnect. Because I feel like when we try so hard, we try to project a certain like reality on a situation, or we try to attach this is what needs to happen. We really dismantle the magic of what is supposed to happen, or what is going to happen, and to really receive it and to be the best in whatever the situation is, whether it's an L or it's a win. It's all for the plot and it's all for our purpose, and it is very intentional. And there is like a state of surrender sometimes to fate, right? Sometimes there are people that come into your life. We may have projected a certain reality that we really wanted, and we had put all of our attention, all of our awareness on it, and it didn't go down the way we wanted. We're like, why did that happen? I thought this was my best friend forever. And there's heartbreak and there's pain, but ultimately things went down how they were supposed to go down. And so surrendering to that mystery and surrendering trying to prove that it needed to go a different direction will give yourself permission to call back more of your power and pull it into yourself, and to work harder on yourself of just accepting reality and people as they are. This will reduce pain. And those are my children barking in the background. They agree. That is confirmation. So in conclusion, stop trying so hard. Work hard, always and forever. Work very, very hard. But stop trying. You don't need to try. You don't need to prove. You don't need to strive. You just need to be and discipline your subconscious mind to align with your goals, whatever it is. Okay? All right. So I'm going to take a couple questions that I get from my DMs on Instagram. I do this weekly Q&A where folks can submit some questions. Also, if you have questions too, put them in the comments section so I can answer them. But I want to do this like Q&A where I answer some of your amazing, amazing inquiries. So the first question is, which is very relative to our theme for today, is how to step into acceptance of not feeling seen or heard and releasing the need to be seen and understood. Okay. So moving with the theme of today and the path of least resistance, the path of like least effort, the more that we try to get someone to see us and to value us and to understand us, the more that we are being stubborn and pushing up against their resistance. So it's like this, right? And we're just here. And as fixed signs, I know it's fun. We're stubborn. We're just staying our ways. We're like, I know what's good. And that's the ego, right? Like it's ego against ego. It's fire against fire. And that will never achieve your desire because it's trying too hard. I feel as though there can be multiple reasons why people do not see us, they do not hear us, they don't understand us. One, it could just be timing of things. Maybe perhaps your truth is more advanced than their comprehension. And so that can be a truth, and that can be frustrating, especially if you love this person. You're like, we could literally like take over the world. Like, why don't you see me? Why don't you hear me? But that's just where they're at. And so surrender to that. It could also be a mental health thing. Maybe they're just at capacity. They cannot process or pull in more information, and trying to see you or understand you would challenge maybe some trauma that they have around your certain energy, or maybe you are triggering something, or maybe they're experiencing emotion that they've never experienced because of your presence. And all of that is valid. You're valid, they're valid, and them not being able to see you now can actually be something that's super helpful and protective to them. Now, if this person has fallen into victim mentality, this also can feel very sad because you're like, but I'm not the villain, I'm not the bully, like I'm here to support you. But sometimes if you have the patience, and if there's something that's on your mind, you want to do this, you can drop into their energy and see from their perspective and see how they're hurt. But if it's an abusive relationship, please don't do this, okay? If it's super like gaslighting, narcissistic, don't do this. And see where their wounds are at, and to validate them for where, like, that wasn't my intention, right? Or I didn't mean to harm you like this. This is what I was trying to say. And maybe express yourself and reassure them, because reassurance can go a long way for overthinkers and people that have anxiety and people that have had like really traumatic pasts and maybe are in this like fawn mode with their nervous system and really afraid of feeling, or afraid of connection, or afraid of people that they know are really good for them, and instead will go towards more toxic and karmic people, right? And that can be heartbreaking, because you could be that evolved energy that comes into their path to support them out of that. But everyone has free will. Everyone gets to choose. And if their choice is not to see you, even if you've attempted to, it is in your best interest to walk away, right? And after you've done that, maybe if it's a mental health thing or whatever it is, you're like, okay, I'm making peace with it. It's time for you to go within yourself and to really reflect, why am I trying so hard to get love? Because ultimately that's what those things are, right? To be seen, to be heard, to be understood. Why does it mean so much for this person to see me? What is it about in them that I really respect that maybe is a mirror to like something that happened to me when I was younger? Or maybe they're a mirror to like, I want my work to value me in this way, or whatever it is. Understand, what power do they have? Why is that validation so important? And how can you provide that for yourself? Because eventually we get to this place in our healing and in our acceptance where it's like, I don't care if you see me or not. You could literally be my life partner. And if you don't see me in this moment, you don't see me clearly, that's fine, because I see myself. And I see the vision because it's on my heart. And I see who I am because it's on my heart. And you'll catch up, right? And then you go on your path and they'll catch up, right? So it's more about caring less. It's more about putting less pressure on other people to understand you all the time. And it's more about just you stepping into your own sense of security, your own sense of your authority. And also for me, what helps is like, I know everybody's manifesting a lot and everybody's a creator and everybody's a dreamer. So I'm not always going to understand people all the time. Like, everyone's an artist to me, in my opinion. So like, I'm not going to understand the process, and that's okay. But you know what? I want to surround myself with people that will love me through the process. And I'm going to love them through their process. And we could both be like these people in process together, creating. And as long as you have people that are willing to accept you, they may not understand you, they may not see you, they may not hear you, but they accept you. I feel like that's a really good intention to have around connection. So understand that sometimes it's really good not to be seen or heard or understood by other people, because this can also be divine intervention and protection. And this could also be helping you restore your power, and you also adjusting internally so your vibration now attracts in people that do understand you, do see you, do value you. For example, like I was talking to my friend the other day and she was just like, yes, like you're such a sweetheart, like you're so sweet. And I was just like, that's because you earned that. I literally have a fan club of people that think I'm the literal devil. Literal devil. And she's a Sagittarius. I love Sagittarius women. I'm a Gemini woman, so like I'm just like, we're connected. And she was like, she's like, well, yeah, it's because when people don't respect your fire or your kindness, or they take it for weakness, or they try to control you, you have every right to snap back. And I was like, that's right. It's like my mama said, never throw the first blow, but if they do, let's roll. Like, that's just my mentality. Maybe not physically, but if it gets to that, we will, but we won't. But that's just my lifestyle. Is I give everyone a lot of respect, a lot of care, a lot of love, a lot of kindness, but also there is another side of me that is direct and it's aggressive and it's fierce and it's a protector. And some people see me in a certain way and other people see me another way, and that's great. In my opinion, that means I'm being authentic and I'm being true to myself, and I don't care how people see me at this point in my life. I really, really care about how I see myself. I never, ever, ever want to compromise my truth. I did it one time, and I will never do that again. It's so refreshing when people don't see me now, or it's so refreshing when people don't hear me, because I understand that I'm being true to my truth, and I just have to continue to move through the course and still train myself to surrender to my subconscious and stop trying so hard and continue to work hard on my craft, on myself. And I know that spirit aligns and provides the perfect timing for people that are going to connect with me. And at this current point in my life, I literally have the most beautiful people around me that see me in all of my totality and just love me. And I'm forever grateful for staying true to myself and not compromising any part of myself. So I pray that was helpful, my loves. And I will talk to you soon. And don't try so hard. You don't need to try at all. You just need to like drop into yourself and work on yourself. Continue to work on yourself. And who cares what other people say? You don't need to flex. Your power is going to speak volumes. Your energy will speak volumes. Your character is going to speak volumes. Your work is going to speak volumes. Let that speak for itself. Okay? All right. I love you. Love you.